We're here in Wentzville, Missouri with Mom and Dad. And Dad is going to reminisce about some of his childhood memories. So I would like you to start with your earliest memory. Just the first thing that comes to mind.
Well, a little of this is risque.
Okay, we can handle it.
My mother took in washings. She washes clothes for other people and hired them. And Dad worked in a blacksmith shop. Just barely made a cornbread living. And we didn't know we were poor. When you're little, you don't realize those things. We had enough to eat. We had a place to sleep. Mom always had clean clothes for us. She made our clothes. Oh, did she make our clothes? She made me a Kelly green suit when I was 12 out of a fuzzy material. And I had to wear that to school. And I was so ashamed of the way I looked, because I knew this was a girl's material and I'm a boy. And but because it was my mom, I would have whipped tigers for her. She really is the foundation of my life. My mother said there's nothing that has been done that you can't do. And I grew up that way. Didn't have to be new, but if it was something that was worthwhile, I tried. I see. Dad always went to work at daybreak, so he was up by 5, and he was getting the clinkers. We burned what they call hard coal. It was bituminous coal and anthracite coal. And we burned the hard coal because it was cheap. But it made hard clinkers, and clinkers are like iron. And somebody had to take those out of the stove every morning. And Dad would do that, and then he would build the fire. One morning, I'm standing watching Dad, I said, Dad, I'll take those outside. I'm 5, and I did. And that became my job. So I would get up before he could get up and get the stove cleaned out. And one morning, Dad came in, picked me up off the floor, held me real tight. And he said, you're going to be a chip off the old block. I don't think I ever loved anybody as much as I did my dad at that moment. And he's held me there for quite a while. Most of the furniture in our house was what my dad made. We had an old iron bedstead for a bed, and as kids slept on a couch, my sister and I. Kitchen table and chairs were what my father made. The cabinets in the kitchen of this little house was what Dad made. And Dad was a really good carpenter and a good blacksmith, and he taught me a lot about life. He was such a quiet man that all I wanted to do was have him talk to me. I wasn't really interested in talking to him. But I would ask him questions all the time, and he'd get tired of it. He'd say, Billy, let's let it lay for a little bit. Let it lay. And he'd do like this. So I began to understand if you talk with your hands, you get more attention. My last real encounter with my father was the day that he came to the house and he was drunk. I met him at the door and I said, Dad, you're not welcome here anymore. And tears formed in his eyes. I said, until you stop drinking, you can't see my kids again. And my dad loved all 4 of your kids. About 2 weeks later, he came back and he said, okay, Billy, you win. That was his words, you win. And so that was the last major encounter until the day he died. He's 57.
What did he die from?
Oh. We took him to the hospital. I never really thought about what he died from. I just figured it was his time to go. Dad had a hard life. He had a really hard life. My dad was a good man. I mean, good to everybody. There was times when we didn't have enough food to eat because he gave it to some family that was worse off than we were. I had quit 7 churches. I went to 7 different churches within a period of a year, looking for someone who represented Christ to me. And Gene Rollmiller, a Catholic boy, and somebody that went to school with Ruth, convinced me to go to the Catholic school, the Catholic church.
What was the name of the church?
Holy Ghost. Yeah, you remember.
Yeah.
This priest, Father Titus Kramer, big tall priest from the Precious Blood Order, who was the pastor, and he sat down and crossed his legs, and his shoes were like this. He was long-legged. And I could see the holes in the bottom of his shoes. I could count the layers of cardboard that he had walked through. Holes were that big. And I could see even a tiny hole in his sock. This is Jesus Christ follower.
What has been the hardest part about growing older?
Pride. Up until about 2 years ago, I was probably one of the most proud people of my family, of my life. I had accomplished a lot of things that I never thought I could. But I did it. My mom taught me. It's only been in the last 7 or 8 months that I'm trying to put together the story of my life. And I'm having to tie together how I came to be who I am. Where did the self-pride come from? Where did the desire to do for myself, not for other people, but to do so that other people had things. Where did this come from? Came from standing over the washboards with my mom, washing clothes, hanging them up on a line. My dad put a line down to where I could reach it, so I could hang short stuff up. The hardest thing today is having Wayne tell me to use a cane. I'll walk by myself as long as I can. It angers me, and I shouldn't be angry. He's just trying to look after me. Share with your family. I've always felt they get tired of listening to me, and I don't get tired of talking to them. Watching my family grow up was a wonderful thing. I have little compartments in my brain that holds each one of my kids. Each one of them has attributes that I take a great amount of pride in. There's not a parent that ever lives. I don't believe that ever is able to say what he wants to say or she wants to just say to the children. And the best thing I could say to me when I had these feelings, I did the best I knew how to do. Whether it was good enough or not, it was the best I had. And so you wind up with tears in your eyes and tears in your coffee or tears in your soda. And they flavor it with your love. I thought about where is love? How deep is it? What does it really mean?
Played that, I think. It looks like I could have played there and there.
Grandpa, you can do that faster than I can.
I went to work inside the paper office when I was 10. I became a journeyman printer about age 14. Had a certificate from Josaphi courses. I was put in charge of writing ads. I also got moved to the front office. I ran a press, the big press that printed the paper, and I stamped the mail. We played games together, and we danced together, and I called it the apple of my eye. I could see part of it. We've had a wonderful, wonderful life together. By the time I was 14, there wasn't anything I thought that I couldn't do. And most of my life has been that way. Until the past year, I began to realize I'm not capable of a lot of things anymore. Good health means a lot. You have to take a lot of things in your stride that you don't want to. Part of life. 30. You know what 30 means?
What?
Number 30 is called the end. Anytime you're writing an article, you end it with number 30. That means you're finished. So this is the number 30.